From Washington to Hollywood and right back to Wisconsin. It's Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba and Greg Bach. Connecting the dots on the stories shaping our world with smart takes, sharp humor, and plenty of personality.
You know, I really expected more professional behavior from you.
It's news and culture without the noise.
Yeah, I'm on.
Here's Pete Schwaba and Greg Bach.
Dude.
Hey, welcome to Nite Lite, ladies and gentlemen. So glad you're here as we celebrate this joyous day that is a Wednesday here in the state of Wisconsin. I am Pete Schwaba, joined as always by Mr. Greg Bach, who joins us from Radio Park in Racine. I am coming to you live from Christmas City, USA, a.k.a. beautiful Marinette, Wisconsin, on the shores of Green Bay. And Dom Lee, as we haven't called him in a while, is joining us from Madison, holding down the fort, producing the show. It is good to see you fellows. How are we doing?
Dom?
I'm doing good.
I'm always so polite when I ask that.
Well, it's a thing of like, I don't want to be, so Dom, you go ahead.
Really good. This is the best day of the week for me.
Wow.
I finished packing fully. Now I just have to clean a little bit of my apartment, but I'm ready to go for tomorrow. I'm excited. It's a good day.
You got to clean like to get your security deposit back? Is that how that works?
Yep.
You going to get it back?
I think so. I've hit a wall or two, maybe three, but I should be getting my deposit back.
You mean like metaphorically, or you actually hit a wall? You punched a wall?
I did accidentally punch my wall, but it wasn't. It was accidental. It wasn't on purpose. I wasn't mad or anything. I just kind of turned.
Do you need help fixing it?
Maybe. Yeah. I mean, not. Yeah, I do actually.
All right.
Yes.
All right.
That's an argument you're not going to win with an inanimate object like that, Dom. That is not advisable.
Maybe I won't
glad
get
you're okay.
Yeah, but I've seen his guns. Drywall doesn't stand a chance against Dom.
That's a good point. And you got the long sleeves. You're rocking the long sleeves today.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, I'm
Very
doing
good. How you doing, Greg?
I'm doing
Repping the crew. I like the shirt.
Thank you very much. I beat the Padres last night. That was great. I'm not happy that they were ahead really nicely, and then it was a 4-6 victory versus a 6-2. But that's the life of a Brewers fan. No, I'm just wrestling with this bug that I've got. I've been trying to kick its butt, but it's just like I'm not sick, but I'm not well. I'm in that mid space where blech. So
you're either going to defeat it or it's going to become a full-blown thing.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I'm afraid of, too, is that, it's going to be a thing where my body says, oh, guess what? You're staying home for the next 4 days because you just didn't go to sleep more. And, that's to me whether you're getting a flu or a cold, especially a flu. A flu is your body saying, hey, you know how you haven't been taking care of yourself for the past 6 to 8 months? Well, now you get a little break and it's not going to feel good either. So there you go.
Now you pay the check. Yeah,
exactly. But I'm doing fine. It's whatever. Unlike Dom, Wednesday is leading into my favorite day, which is Thursday. That's
Thursday's
coming up
a great day.
I love Thursday. Thursday just feels great.
I have to ask you, do you have a remedy or something you do when you feel yourself getting sick? I've had a couple doctors tell me take echinacea. And this is years ago.
Yeah.
And then it was during COVID, it was vitamin D. And I shoveled vitamin D in like it was a hot dish casserole for
Did it help?
2 years. I didn't get COVID. At least I'd never tested positive for it. So I might have been one of those people that carried it. My guess would be I probably had it, but my daughter and I did not test positive. However, I would do the vitamin D, the echinacea, try to get to bed, and I always pride myself, I haven't been sick and whatever, but I still get sick. And it doesn't last as long maybe because you load up on D, but you can't not get sick. What, did I say something?
Nothing, you're fine. It just keeps on nothing. I think that you are not as healthy as you think you are simply because earlier before we got on the air, you said something to the effect of, I sent this story at 3 a.m. when I couldn't sleep.
Yeah, well, I know.
And that's fine. And people have sleeping problems. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying we get sick because we get sick. It's from not taking care of yourself. It's also just from your body. Things happen. So,
dude, go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say, for me, I don't really do like any sort of preventative, like if I'm not feeling well, I'll maybe load up on fluids, or I'll try. I'll be very intentional with my sleeping to make sure I'm going to bed early, sleeping as much as possible. but I don't go for any sort of like, echinacea or what was that one that actually got proven wrong and they had to pay out money? It was the
zinc.
It was like an orange drink mix. Emergency. When they were like, take that before you go on an airplane, you'll never get sick. I'm like, I don't think you can say that.
I don't think it was. You're close. What was that called? And I always cracked up because it said created by a teacher. It's like,
yes, that was emergency. Emergency.
I'm like, created by a teacher. My wife's a teacher. I don't want her designing a cold cocktail. Oh, this one's designed by a forklift operator. Beautiful. Let me take some.
It's still available. It's called Emergency Immune Support Sub. I don't know. I don't
think it can hurt. It's just an extra vitamin C, but it's not going to prevent anything, I don't think.
Yeah, so I'm not going to take it at all then, because honestly, at the end of the day, that's just $15 out of my pocket for nothing. Not something that's doctor recommended or doctors. I don't know. I just get sleep when I'm not feeling well. I just take a rest and make sure I just take it easy. I don't try to overexert myself because I don't want it to get worse. So
I don't have sleeping issues. Last night I went to bed at like 10:40, which is the earliest I've gone to bed in years, and I woke up at 2, wide awake. And typically when I look at my phone when I'm in bed, I can't. I'll pick out a Seinfeld episode. I can't even pick out the episode before I fall asleep. Like that's how fast. So I'm kind of on fumes today, but I kind of like that sometimes. I feel like you work a little harder to get through it,
Okay. Yeah.
And you know what I did? I was laying in bed and I got obsessed with the Greenland shark because I get these reels, these AI videos of dinosaurs and these cool species. And Dom, I know you have issues with how the dinosaurs, maybe they still exist. I don't know. But the Greenland shark, some of them can live to 600 years old and they're huge. And what kind of an existence is that, you guys? This thing swims 1 mile an hour for 500. They've been around before this country, the Nina, the Santa Maria, whatever. That's not a life, dude. That's not like really fun. It's like terrible.
You're also assigning human values to a shark.
The shark does not look like it's having fun.
I mean, like it's just like, I just wish I was invited to a few more parties in my time. Yeah,
I'm going to bump this up to a 1.5 mile swim and really cut loose, in the North Atlantic. Crazy, but incredible creatures.
I will say though that something, and this is my thing too, is that when it comes to what you just said, it's something that I really would love to wean myself off of, which is going to bed and turning nothing on, no TV, no phone. My brother-in-law is a very, very, very accomplished doctor, and I asked him one day, he said the 3-2-1 method is the best way to do it. 3 hours, stop working 3 hours before bed. What was it? Stop working
Eating?
3 hours before bed. Oh no, don't eat 3 hours before it. 2 hours, stop working. I think he said, I can't remember.
Or don't drink. Don't eat, don't drink. Maybe.
But no, stop working too. Stop working. But also an hour before bed, turn off your screens completely. Get a book. Get yourself right, because that stuff just messes with your eyes and it keeps you up. I mean, the amount of time that I've gone to bed at like 9 o'clock at night, but I don't fall asleep until 1:15 because I'm just scrolling on my.
It's awful.
Yeah, it's bad for you. It's bad for you, and I wouldn't be surprised that's part of the reason why I'm not feeling well either.
It is fun though. Like I want to appreciate that a world of entertainment is at my fingertips. Old comedy clips. People falling. It's fun.
But they're there anytime.
I know, dude.
It's not like if you don't look at them at 2:30 in the morning, they'll be gone they'll come back. They'll come back. I believe in you.
That's the voice of Greg Bach, folks. It's Pete and Greg coming to you live on the Civic Media Network. Great to have you with us on this Wednesday night. We have an excellent show tonight. We're going to welcome our first guest tonight will be Stephen Petrie and Julia Colby. Stephen is the informal education coordinator at the Milwaukee Public Museum, an awesome institution. And Julia is the zoology collections manager. So they will be here at 5:35 after the news. Then in hour number 2, we have a James Beard-winning food journalist. Adam Reiner will be here. He's going to talk to us about etiquette and how we should behave when we're at restaurants and the proper things to do. And I have to admit, I was doing everything wrong, Greg. So this is going to be an education. I thought I'd walk in and order food. No. There's a whole etiquette thing to that we're going to learn about tonight. So that'll be fun.
Yeah, we'll be talking about his book, The New Rules of Dining Out, which I guess means wear pants.
Or dining in, then you don't have to. Exactly. Nite Lite Movie Club is tomorrow night, folks. In hour number 2, that's going to be a blast. We had David Zucker on last week, And he is one of the writer, director, producers of Airplane, along with his brother Jerry and their pal Jim Abrahams. Pat Proft might have been involved in a few of their movies too. Just a great team who made some of the comedies for the ages. Airplane is consistently ranked one of the best all-time comedies, top 5, whatever. We're going to discuss that tomorrow night in hour number 2. It's going to be a lot of fun. So we hope you'll join us and tell us your favorite Airplane scenes, lines, actors, whatever. It's just going to be a fun discussion. That's tomorrow night in hour number 2. Right now, I think we need to get to our question of the night, fellows.
I agree.
Let's talk about the question.
Okay, question.
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 Pregunta.
Question.
Question.
Okay, I have a question. Questions? This question.
Domanda.
Question.
Question.
Questions.
This is exciting, folks. It is National Crouton Day. You didn't think it existed. It does. Have fun with it. Our question of the night is, what is your favorite salad topping? And you can even say, there's actually a product out there called Salad Toppins. You can say that if you want, but let us know what your favorite salad topping is at 855-752-4842, 855-75-CIVIC. Text us on the app. Text us on the stream if you're watching the radio on YouTube, Facebook, or X Twitter, and let us know. Be part of the fun. Always more fun when you guys participate. So that's exciting, Greg.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
you know what is not exciting but infuriating?
I think I know where this is going.
News coming out of Jefferson County. Last night there was a school board meeting, and the Watertown School Board votes to remove a song tied to LGBTQ history from their spring concert. This is being reported by WTMJ. Last night the board voted 7-1 to remove an instrumental piece tied to LGBTQ plus history. The piece is called "A Mother of a Revolution." It's a composition by Omar Thomas, written in honor of transgender activist Marsha P. Johnson. She is the one who threw the brick through the window at the Stonewall bar that created the Stonewall Uprising, that basically created the modern civil rights movement for the queer community. They had been, so here's the thing that really burns my grits, guys. They had been practicing this concert for months, and the parents had been sent a letter in October saying, we're doing this concert in May. There's a song in here. You have the opportunity to opt your child out of this. And when they received what I imagine was almost no responses, okay. But now, of course, a week or two beforehand, everyone loses their mind. Well, not just everyone, some people. And the Watertown School Board decides to go there and bloviate on opinions that mean absolutely nothing, because they are just trying to mirror the opinions of the MAGA crusade, which is no indoctrination of our children. No one's trying. This is an instrumental piece. It doesn't, there's no pictures. There's no one talking. It's a piece of music. That's all it is. And they
for those
decided
of you
to
that
pull
don't
it.
know an instrumental, there are no lyrics, Greg. It's not even.
Yeah.
And what irritates me is it's a difficult piece to play. These kids work so hard, and they got voted down 7-1. And when a reporter, I think it was from WTMJ, was trying to get their opinions as these school board members walked out, they wouldn't even talk to her. If you're that committed in your beliefs, why aren't you talking about them? And why are you running away? It's so snowflakey and gutless.
And the concert isn't canceled. They just can't, quote, play the song. So those kids, play the song. Do
I
it.
hope they do.
Do it.
Greg, you're indoctrinating me. All right, we are coming right back, folks. This is Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba and Greg Bach. And when we come back, Friends news. Ross and Rachel, you got it. This is the Civic Media Network.
Here comes my baby. Here she comes now. And it comes as no surprise to me.
In break.
There we are. We are in break. Although I will say, when I get sick, I end up getting this voice too. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Radio World.
Speaking of Phoebe, remember that? That was a fun episode where she had her cold voice and she liked it better.
Yeah. Today, 22 years ago. So 22 years ago? Yeah, I think it was 22 years ago. I said it on the radio today. The last episode of Frasier premiered.
Were you a fan?
I like Frasier. I grew to like Frasier. I grew up watching Cheers. I didn't come to Frasier until probably midway through the show, and then I was like, oh my gosh. And then I tried watching the reboot on CBS, which was so disappointing, because it went from one of the smartest comedies written in the past 30 years to just a three. I mean, the original was a 3-camera as well, but like if you look at the tone of the first show versus the tone of the second show, and David Hyde Pierce isn't there, and everyone else from the old show comes on really as cameos. So it was more wacky and screwball, but not with the smarts. That's the thing I love about Frasier, is that you have that scene where Niles is running around trying to put out the fire in Frasier's apartment. It is Buster Keaton slapstick screwball comedy, but is also really smart, whereas the new version is just like not, if you will.
I completely forgot about the new version. I'll tell you this. I was not as big a fan of Frasier. My dad loves it. I know my comedy friends so many love it and swear by it. I just didn't. I loved Frasier on Cheers.
Yeah.
As Frasier, he was so funny. I mean, he stole scenes, and I liked him better as kind of a second banana rather than a lead.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm obviously in the wrong. It's won how many Emmys is Frasier?
Yeah.
We have a call as well.
Jacques from Merrimack. It is weird too that like it was an NBC like mainstay. It like won them so many awards. It got them so much money, and then they're like, "What's coming on CBS?" Like, what? Can you do that? Is that legally allowed? That's weird.
Yeah.
10 seconds, guys. 10 seconds.
Okay, fine. I'll stop talking.
Whatevs, Dom. Welcome back to Nite Lite, ladies and gentlemen. It is Wednesday night in the state of Wisconsin. You've got the Civic Media Network. You've got Pete Schwaba, Greg Bach, Dom Lee. We are coming to you live from various parts of the state. I am in northeast Wisconsin. Greg is in southeast Wisconsin. And Dom is in Madison, Wisconsin. We are the Yatter-Hay Triangle, and we are glad you're part of the show and joining us tonight. Before we get back to our stories, someone is calling in. And you know what, Greg? This is how I'm going to segue. I know this person. This is Jack from Merrimack. He is definitely not calling in on a Trump phone. I know that much.
That's very true. He does not get his Trump phone yet. Jack from Merrimack, welcome to the show. How are you doing, bud?
I'm still waiting for my Trump phone. I said, darn well better give me my $100 back.
Yeah, good luck on that one, buddy. What's up, sir? What is on your mind tonight?
Yeah, well, again, it's the school board so-called decision is a bunch of the maggots that are just engendering and inciting fear, hate, and anger. Fear of anybody that is anything different. Hate of the fact that maybe these people can actually get some rights in our society, and anger that, oh my goodness, somebody might think this is acceptable. Crazy. Oh yeah. And the whole thing. This is just, I mean, this is to draw. This kind of stuff is just drawing attention away from little things like the Trumpstein files and the fact that our democracy is being not whittled away bit by bit, but
Jack, I find it very interesting. Yeah. I find it very interesting that the gentleman from the school board his whole thing was, we don't want to indoctrinate children. I'm like, yeah, but you're not protecting them either. You're not prosecuting anyone on the Epstein files. But yet this instrumental song played by 40 kids at Watertown High School in Wisconsin, that is where the danger lies, my friends. That's where
Threat
the danger
to society.
is.
Absolutely. Thank you for the call, Jack. Great stuff.
Thank you very much. Yep.
And speaking of the phone, did you see this coming, Greg? I mean, of all the failed ventures in the Trump family, the phone, the gold phone, didn't this have, the writing was on the wall. People are furious now. The Trump family's made $60 million from $100 deposits on this phone that is never going to happen. And if it does, or if it did, it was never going to be made in the United States. It's going to be made in China. And that's how they sold it, as something made in the USA.
Well, that's how a lot of manufacturing companies get. I know a friend of mine worked for a company where they sold, heavy truck parts, and their whole thing was like, made in the USA. You're buying American strong. Well, the workaround there was they were buying from the American company that was the middleman for the Chinese manufacturing firm that made the actual parts.
Yeah.
So the fact that people actually thought they were going to get a phone, I don't know. But like, I'm also getting tired of seeing.
Uh-oh. Did we lose Greg down?
I'm right here.
There he
Hello.
is.
Oh, there
He's
he is.
here.
Okay.
Whether it's the Trump guitar, the Trump vodka, the Trump phone, the Trump, what was the steak?
Airline.
Well, I mean, those are the old days. I'm talking
Right.
about the new grifts and the new
How about the
steals
hoop
and
shoes?
scams.
Yeah.
The hoops. Well, the hoop shoes were real. People actually bought those weird things. But like the phone, dude, I mean, I'm not even buying a phone from a legitimate company if they're like, yeah, give us some money. We'll be sure to get it to you.
Right.
No, thank you.
You know what people didn't realize either is when you buy a Trump phone, the plans were not very good. It was you get like 100 texts and 7 unlimited minutes a month. So that's not a very good system.
And you get texted by Eric and Don Jr. a lot, and it's very weird.
When they come back from their guided hunts of rhinoceroses and stuff. All right, so here's another thing I saw, Greg, and I love this.
Yeah.
All right, the show Friends. I don't know where you stand on the show Friends. I like it. I don't. It's not one of my top 5, but it's a very well written show, very funny,
Yeah.
great actors. But the Ross Rachel stuff, I was still not really watching it when that happened, but it's back. Lisa Kudrow went on Jimmy Fallon and said that Ross was in the wrong. His constant yelling, "We were on a break." She said he was a terrible boyfriend. Where do you weigh in on that? And how about it? The fact that it's back in the news.
Well, I mean, she's been making headlines for the past little while because because of the death of Matthew Perry, she's been rewatching Friends for the first time through. So she's had some thoughts on this. I don't disagree. Ross is insufferable. Ross is absolutely. He was insufferable. Awful. It's like that show is 32 years old this year. It started in 1994, and I was in high school. And I'll tell you this: even in high school and in college, I thought Ross was insufferable, and I was a young man, and I could have been like, he's totally no. He screwed up. He messed up. He was a bad boyfriend. And the whole will goes anyways, where they get, and then they spend like 7 seasons not together. And then the thing about Friends is when Monica and Chandler got together, they were together. Right. They started dating. They got engaged. They got married. They had kids. Show over. There was no like, are they going to break up? No. They were confident and they were strong in their relationship. Ross and Rachel, that's a therapy session in my.
And nobody really cared after a while. It was like, oh, they got together and people in the tabloids went nuts and it was great.
Yeah.
Okay, and then I actually liked that. I thought it was fun. He was funny. David Schwimmer is a very good actor, but man, you're right. Was he annoying? And I saw on a Reddit post once somebody wrote, "What is the point of Ross?" So I mean, he was like the most forgettable character, but a very talented guy. But I am with Lisa Kudrow on this. And Schwimmer went on Fallon and said Ross was definitely in the right because technically they were on a break. So this is all back in our lives now.
Oh boy. Well,
we'll see what happens.
From a technical standpoint, maybe, but from a human common sense point, dude.
The time has passed.
Exactly.
Ladies and gentlemen, our question of the night is: what is your favorite salad topping? What do you have to have on your salad? Let us know. It's National Crouton Day. 855-752-4842, 855-75-CIVIC, or text us on the Civic Media app or drop us a stream comment. Great to have you with us tonight. We are coming back and we're going to talk Milwaukee Public Museum. It's a great chat. Don't miss it. And it's a great institution, and we're going to do it upright. This is Pete Schwaba and Greg Bach and Nite Lite on the Civic Media Network.
All right, we are in break.
We are in break.
Oh, I just saw Tyler's text. What is he?
I don't know why. I have no idea. I don't know what that
help
means.
myself. I'm hopeless. Boo.
I don't. That sounds bad. Boo.
I don't remember. Maybe I said something.
I have no idea. Okay.
It just came in a minute ago, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tyler, if you can hear us right now.
Clarification, please.
Clarification, please.
Maybe he's the one guy that got his Trump phone, and he's a little annoyed.
It's true.
And he's texting in on it right now.
Oh, my
How do you like
gosh.
that?
It's made of pure, not gold.
What do you think about that, Schwaba?
What do you think about that? You like that? You like them Schwabas? All right. Well, I'm going to go away.
Cold compress, Greg.
Yeah. I'm going to go grab some water. So I'll be back and I'll see you guys in a little bit.
Sounds good, kids.
Yep.
See you then. Bye.
Yep. Welcome back to Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba and Greg Bach here on the Civic Media Radio Network. You can always get in touch, 855-752-4842, 855-75-CIVIC. You leave a comment on our live stream. We are currently streaming on Facebook, YouTube, and the platform we still call Twitter. Let us know your thoughts on our question of the night. It's National Crouton Day. What's your favorite salad type? topping, not just dressing, but topping. So let us know. While you're doing that, we're going to get to our first guests for the evening. Very excited to have them here from the Milwaukee Public Museum. Julia Colby is the Zoology Collections Manager, and Stephen Petrie is the Informal Education Coordinator here to talk about all the great things happening at the museum. Good afternoon/evening, folks. How are y'all doing?
Great. Thanks so much.
Excellent. Thank you so much for being here on the show this evening. Well, there's a lot going on at the Milwaukee Public Museum, but we're here to talk about specifically the Bio Blitz that's happening next month. Why don't you let the folks know what's going on with the Bio Blitz, the event itself, and what they can expect to see?
Yeah, so the Bio Blitz is a super fun event. It is the 12th and 13th of June. There's public programming on the 13th. It is fun. It is great for people of all ages, and probably best of all, it is free. So just come on down. We'll have nature walks, IDs. You can talk to the scientists and see what they found. They will have been there since Friday surveying. And at the end of that time, the scientists are out in the field finding species and putting names on them. We'll announce what we found, and it's a really fun time for all sorts of folks.
Excellent.
That's so great. Stephen, you're the Informal Education Coordinator, as Greg just mentioned. Tell us a little bit about your duties and how important education is from a museum. I mean, it's so great that we have such a great museum in Milwaukee and many others as well, but this one in particular puts kids in touch with history and all the great exhibits you guys have. What is your connection or liaison between education and the facility itself?
Of course. Thanks for asking the question. So my job, education takes a lot of forms in our everyday life and certainly at the museum. And so we have my counterpart. We were joking about this earlier. We do have a formal education coordinator. He does the formal school programming. So if you sign up officially for a program, we have programs that way. But also, we just love when people come to our museum and have an opportunity to learn something from someone on the floors. And so that's what I specifically oversee and help coordinate is if you ever come to the museum and you find an educator, a docent, someone else that is included free with admission to just tell you something cool, to have some hands-on activity, those are the types of things that we try and bring to the fore. And we have a lot of it going on throughout the week, but especially try and do it big on certain days. And the next one coming up is going to be our big theme day called Creepy Crawly Day on Saturday, June 6th from 11 to 3, where we'll have, I think it's about 10 stations on the floors. You can interact with live insects. You can learn a little bit about our littlest neighbors around us, what makes them special, what makes them important to us, how we can take care of them. And you can also try and eat live bugs, or not live bugs. You can try and eat real bugs yourself as a sustainable source of protein.
I'll pass on that. Thanks. As interesting as it sounds.
Julia, you are the Zoology Collections Manager. What is, when I first saw collections, my first brain went to wait, what, like deadbeat zoologists? But no. What do you do in your job there at the museum as far as being the collections manager?
So I think we're all familiar with the museum floors. There's a lot of specimens on those museum floors. Behind the scenes, we have 4 million specimens and objects that are in storage. So think of it sort of like an archive or a special collections library where you don't necessarily need to get at all of those things all the time, but it's important that they're there when you do need them. So my role, I manage about half of that collection, or half of that total of 2 million or 4 million specimens. I've got about 2 million of those in my collection. So I'm in charge of making sure that they're housed correctly and cared for. I manage use. So when scientists or researchers or artists or students want to come in and answer a research question or use the material in some way, I help coordinate that. And then all of those specimens, they're important because they're specimens, but they're important because there's data with them, like where it was collected and who collected it and when they were collected. And so I help manage that data as well to get that data as accessible as possible to as many people as possible.
Excellent.
That's so great. Let's jump back to Creepy Crawly Day, if we can, just for a minute. It's Saturday, June 6th. It says the finale. Is this a series? And how popular like when kids go there, Stephen, when they come to the museum, are they excited to interact with bugs and creepy crawly day, or what is? Tell us a little bit more about this and how interactive it is.
Sure. So why it says it's the finale is because this is the finale of one of what we've been calling our greatest hits. So as we all know, Milwaukee Public Museum, it's going to be closing at the end of this year. Still plenty of time to come in and say your goodbyes or hellos 3 or 4 or 5 times before you finally say goodbye. But throughout about every other month, we've been highlighting one of the really special topics and exhibits that make this museum, this place feel special. And so this is our third one. It's wrapping it up on the rainforest, butterflies, and of course, all the creepy crawly things with us. So right now we're diving deep into the bugs. It's a perfect time to do it spring. In the past, we've covered kind of the ancient world. We focused on our great dioramas, but we still also have more to come later in the summer. We'll be focusing all on dinosaurs, all on ancient life. Nice. And then we'll be closing it off in the fall with a really deep dive into the streets of Old Milwaukee and European Village. And so this one I'm really excited for. This one's one of my favorite. We've actually been doing Creepy Crawly Day for a couple of years, and it's just so much fun to have extra life here, not just because there's so many people here bringing that excitement, but also because we get to bring out live bugs, which we get to see a lot, but we don't get to do every day.
If you're just joining us, we are talking to Stephen Petrie and Julia Colby of the Milwaukee Public Museum discussing the BioBlitz events as well as the Creepy Crawly event. As far, Julia, as far as the BioBlitz event goes, you know, what are the things that, like, because it's a 24-hour celebration, what are things that people really look forward to in that specific event?
So a lot of the surveyors who are there for the 24 hours really welcome the chance to sort of put their day jobs aside and go out and do the thing they love, which is looking at the natural world. A lot of them really love sharing information with the public. So on Saturday, they're at Ware Nature Center. You know, you can come up and talk to them and they'll show you what they found and how they identified it. The public, I think, really likes a chance to look at the natural world in a new way. Because, you know, you can walk through the woods and not see anything. And if somebody goes along with you and says, oh, that's, you know, this kind of warbler or this kind of tree, like that gives you a whole new perspective on often nature that's a park that is in your own backyard that you go to all the time.
Just to piggyback on what Greg said, Julia, what are, you know, this is, it says celebrating Wisconsin species and, you know, biodiversity. What do we see in Wisconsin? Like, what are some of the big draws and how do they mix together like that?
Yeah, so that's one of those things that, like, we think about diversity, we think about like a tropical rainforest and it's so diverse and it's so exotic, but there's so much biodiversity in your own backyard. Like a couple of years ago, we have a surveyor who studies algae, and there is a species of algae that only lives on snapping turtles, which I didn't know. Oh. And so there's all these little tiny things, like there's the big things that you're used to, like deer and turkeys and maple trees. But then there's all these other little things that you've never considered. And they're all so important for the way you live your life and the things you do for fun and the water that you drink and the air that you breathe. And understanding a little bit more about those makes you much more inclined to do something about them.
And I can just add in here too, as an educator, I'm fortunate enough that oftentimes we get to participate in the education day at BioBlitz, which is specifically the Saturday component of it. And in between people coming up and asking questions and doing the activities, one of my favorite things is to just sit and have a chance to talk to the scientists in the field and learn all about these little tidbits. I know they love talking about it, so I'm not going to say I was annoying them, but there was one year, a couple of years ago, that I got to sit next to our butterfly wing supervisor, John Bertolis, and just ask him all of the questions about the butterflies. And I walked away with such a deeper appreciation of that life that, you know, you see a butterfly and you're like, oh, that's pretty, but actually understanding what it's doing here is really something that's special about getting to interact directly with scientists.
Well, and that's something that I wanted to ask you both was the fact that, you work at the Milwaukee Public Museum. You're both experts in your field. You have your day to day. You come to work with your lunch. You got your work to do. But as you just said, Julia, there are folks there who work there, but they also love being in nature. For both of you, what is something that is just a mind blowing fact you learned from the museum that you share? And this, like, as a person who works there every day, still like surprises you and gets you excited to be doing the work you're doing. Like, what is, Julie? We can start with you.
Yeah, I mean, so part of my job is obviously a lot of hands-on care of the specimens that we have in our collections. And every day that I get to do that, it is just a gift to see the diversity of life on Earth. And there's always something that I'm sure I've seen it before, but I've never really thought about it. And, just seeing that diversity of the things that I really enjoy is, to me, great. And if that's like, if I ever come in and I'm like, oh geez, it's just another day dealing with owls, that's the time that I need to leave. I need to get a different job.
I say that every day.
Yeah. But like, it's always exciting and it's always new to me.
Stephen, what about you?
I mean, that's such a difficult question to answer. It's one of those things that it does. Sometimes you have to just take a pause and realize how awesome the place you work at is. Because, I mean, sometimes, some days it's a desk job. I know yesterday I had a bunch of meetings. I didn't get to walk along the museum floors. I wasn't teaching that day. But then if you just get 5-10 minutes to walk around and be like, oh, I get to work around all of this history. And just like my today is I get to walk by and look at something that's 400 million years old and just appreciate that's what the world actually used to look like here in Wisconsin. And I have to say, like, personally, big nerd about the Silurian period, have a Silurian tattoo, favorite exhibit, so excited also that it's going to be represented in so much bigger way in the future museum.
I'm kind of envious that both of you work there, and I think it would be a really cool gig if I actually knew stuff. I would probably just be referring people to you guys, but it seems like such a great environment. Let me ask you this. We have about a minute and a half or so before we have to do a break, and then we'll continue our conversation with Stephen Petrie and Julia Colby from the Milwaukee Public Museum. But what are some of the times to go there? I love kids. I have kids. But if you're an adult and want to just immerse yourself in the museum, when is the best time to go when it's not volume 10 and there's kids running everywhere, as joyous as that is?
I would say, I mean, especially as people are appreciating it in our last year, it does get pretty busy. If you are an adult looking for a little bit calmer time, I would say anytime after 3 p.m., the school groups are going to start leaving for the day. A lot of the kids are going home for their naps. And so there's still probably going to be people here. You're still rolling the dice. It's a pretty popular place. But especially if you want to enjoy a little bit calmer atmosphere, I'd say mid to late afternoon is your best bet.
There you go. All right, we're gonna, Julie. I want to get your thoughts on this as well. You may have a time that we don't know about, secret time we don't know about, but we're going to talk more about that on the other side of the break. We are talking with Julia Colby. She is the Zoology Collections Manager, and Stephen Petrie. He's the Informal Education Coordinator from the Milwaukee Public Museum. Don't go anywhere. You are listening to and/or watching Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba and Greg Bach here on the Civic Media Network. Stay tuned and stay close. Welcome back to Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba and Greg Bach here on the Civic Media Network. As always, get in touch, 855-752-4842, 855-75-CIVIC. The question of the night, it's National Crouton Day. What is your favorite salad topping? Let us know. And coming up in the second hour, we'll be speaking with Adam Reiner, who's a James Beard award-winning food journalist, talking about his new book and the new rules behind dining. So stick around for that. But right now, we are continuing our conversation with our folks, our friends from the Milwaukee Public Museum. Stephen Petrie, he is the informal education coordinator, and Julia Colby is the zoology collections manager at the museum. And as you mentioned, Stephen, before, and this is open to whomever would like to answer, but it's your last year here at that current location. You will be moving and opening up in 2027. And you have your greatest hits exhibits going on, but what else is happening in these last few months at this historic location for the Milwaukee Public Museum?
I mean, in addition to our greatest hits, we in between have all the same kind of great programming that our regular visitors have come to love and expect. So we'll be celebrating things all throughout the summer. When we get into fall, before we kick off our Streets and European Village greatest hit, we'll be doing a lot of programming for Hispanic Heritage Month, for LGBTQ History Month. And then, of course, in November, we'll be doing a whole showcase of so much programming for Native American History Month.
Wonderful.
That is so great. I always thought it'd be cool to live on the old time Milwaukee street, kind of like Walt Disney did at Disneyland. He had an apartment apparently over the firehouse. It just seems like a cool place. Tell us a little bit about this. Sounds really cool to me. An event you guys have coming up on May 28th, Adult Trivia Night, Rainforest and Butterflies Edition.
So the bad news about that event is if you really wanted to come and you didn't buy your tickets, it is already sold out.
Oh, wow.
It is going to be a great night, and I will put a plug in there. While this one, if you didn't buy your tickets already, I'm sorry, you're out of luck. There will be a family trivia night about dinosaurs, doing our dinosaur greatest hit. And, you know, if that one sells out too, maybe look forward to another trivia. Can't promise anything. But those are always fun nights where we have themed trivia, kind of highlighting one specific topic, but also bringing in all of the different facets of our museum. And some are a little bit easier, but, you know, it's trivia. We're trying to stump people and have you having a good time, but also learning something.
Will there be scalpers outside? Can we score some tickets that way? Or
I don't know if we would allow that, but you know,
rats.
If it's far enough away, it's out of sight, out of mind.
Okay, good to know.
Julia, besides the BioBlitz events coming up next month, is there anything that you're looking forward to specifically in these last few months at that location before you move?
Gosh, that's a tough question.
I ask all the tough questions.
Really
I am such a
He's
journalist.
trying to make you cry. He wants to be Barbara Walters, Julia.
I mean, most of my job, aside from BioBlitz, which is very public facing, is behind the scenes. And so right now my time is almost exclusively devoted to the move. So that's what, you know, is often not very visible change, but that's what I'm really doing.
Honestly, she might not even realize when we close the doors because she's going to be too busy moving all of those great things
they're
that
just going to
getting us
lock
ready.
me in here. It's fine.
Is it like when you move to another apartment, you have to call your friends up and be like, hey, guys, can you come on out and just get all the trivia people like, you got to help us move for an hour before we start trivia, but it'll be fun.
Yes.
Sort of, yeah. I mean, we've hired a huge crew of really talented folks to help with the move. And so it's basically, you know, all of our friends have come to help put things in boxes very, very carefully.
That's cool. You're off the hook, Dom. So we want to, I want to ask you guys, we have, a couple minutes left. Tell us about the planetarium and any fun films that you guys will be showing at the theater right there in-house. That sounds fun.
So that one, I don't know all of the specifics because unfortunately for me, I love the idea of the planetarium. I get motion sick, so I don't get to watch a lot of the shows myself. I do know that whenever we get to our greatest hits, especially for the Dino Days of Summer, you can expect a lot of new, but also some returning favorites of our dinosaur movies coming up. So if you want to see dinosaurs on the big screen, they don't make screens bigger than ours.
That's awesome.
I will also say that we have a special show that I think will be opening maybe exclusively in the new building, but it's made in-house by us, by our staff, called Wisconsin Wonders, Land, Sky, and People, all about Wisconsin, because the new museum is very, Wisconsin-centric, and the architecture especially was inspired by Wisconsin, so it's sort of a tour of the state. And I've seen little snippets of it, and it looks really cool.
And that'll be opening up in the new location?
I believe so. I think we had some footage shown for Inside Out, but I believe it will open in the new museum.
So, hey, maybe if you ask about it enough, there might be more sneak peeks.
Yeah, they'll do a sneak preview.
Bug the people. No, that's a pun. That's a pun. Badger. No, that's also a pun. All right, just bother them a lot. All right. We only have a couple minutes left here. Really quick before we get on. What is so? I don't know if we'll talk to you before the move, but what are the last things you want to talk about before we get on out of here about the museum, about what you have left to do for the rest of the year, and just I want you to gush for the museum because I know how much you love it.
I mean, that is very true. Both Stephen and I are huge museum fans, but we just a little bit. I think reminding folks that we have a lot of great programming and events, and we're still here and we're still open. Obviously, I'm going to plug the BioBlitz again because that's a huge thing for me. We're going to be at Ware Nature Center. We're so excited to be there because our partners at Ware are fantastic. There's going to be so much fun stuff to do on Saturday. And I think I mentioned this earlier, but it's free, and that matters.
That does matter a lot.
Excellent. I think I would just add as one last plug, it's always great to come down to the museum, but also if you haven't seen it already, take a look at all of the cool new merch that they're plugging in the gift shop. They are really going out of their way to get the best t-shirts I have ever seen. So, Milwaukee Public Museum, we got some time left, and you have some time to represent your love of this building in the community.
I certainly hope your bosses
shameless.
I certainly hope your bosses are listening to that plug for merchandise. My goodness gracious. All right.
So there.
I can't wait. I cannot wait to get there before you guys close out and move. But that has been Julia Colby, Zoology Collections Manager, and Stephen Petrie, the Informal Education Coordinator from the Milwaukee Public Museum. Guys, thank you so much for being here. So much. Have fun over the next few months. We'll get on out there and have a great time with you. But thank you so much for being here tonight.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks.
All right. On the other side of the break, after the news, Adam Reiner, James Beard award-winning food journalist, will be here talking about his new book. So you don't want to miss that. Plus, we'll be talking about the question of the night, which is, what is your favorite salad topping? So don't go anywhere. You are listening and or watching Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba and Greg Bach on the Civic Media Network.
Trying to make sense of the world? You've got Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba and Greg Bach.
Call our toll-free number now.
Headlines, culture, and real conversation.
And now, our feature presentation.
Here's Pete and Greg.
Welcome to Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba and Greg Bach here on the Civic Media Network. You can always get in touch with us. Call or text. The number is the same, 855-752-4842, 855-75-CIVIC. Leave a comment on that live stream. We're currently streaming on Facebook, YouTube, and the platform we still call Twitter. Still lots of great programming still ahead. We are going to be talking to, I'm trying to find his name right here. It was right there. Oh, there it is. Adam Reiner. He is a James Beard award-winning food journalist to talk about his new book on the new rules behind dining. So don't go anywhere for that. That's going to be great conversation. Plus, we'll be wrapping everything up with the nightcap tonight, where we talk about what we learned, hear from you on the text line about your thoughts on the question of the night. Oh, speaking of the question of the night, let's restate that.
Let's talk about the question.
Okay, question.
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 Pregunta.
Question.
Question.
Okay, I have a question. Questions? This question.
Domanda.
Question.
Questions.
It's National Crouton Day. What is your favorite salad topping? That's right. 855-752-4842, 855-75-CIVIC. Leave a comment on the live stream. You can also get in touch with us via the Civic Media app. You can also give us an email, too, if you'd like. Nitelite, Nitelite, at civicmedia.us. And I'm remiss. I'm sorry, guys. I'm so sorry, gentlemen. I apologize right now. I didn't introduce you properly. That's just, that's poor everything. I
was going to say something. But
I know. I apologize. I'm so sorry. Let's take a moment. They love radio silence here. But I'm coming to you live from Radio Park in Racine. That's in southeastern Wisconsin. And up the coast in northeastern Wisconsin is Mr. Pete Schwaba, a.k.a. Chris, the mayor of Christmas City, USA. Not Marinette. Not Marinette. He's the mayor of Christmas City, USA.
Enough.
Yeah. You know, you get the top hat on with the little holly on the side.
If the name change ever takes, I'll take that.
And then all the way over in Madison at HQ here at Civic Media is Mr. Dom Lee. We are the Yotterhay Triangle here for you, having some good time with the question of the night, which is, what is your favorite salad topping? And I said this before, and I like that you said salad topping, not salad dressing, because I feel like that just limits your choices.
Totally.
My wife does not do salad dressing at all. It is, no, not on the side, nothing. She just likes a good old fashioned pile of vegetables. Or as Ron Swanson would put it, this is food my food eats.
I never heard that. That's funny.
So
I don't, first of all, I want to say one time I was in a restaurant and I laughed hard. It was this older couple. It was a supper club probably 20 years ago when the guy says, I'd like some extra croutons. He called croutons croutons.
I love me some croutons.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love stale bread?
He rocked it. Yeah, exactly.
There you go. What about you, Pete? What is your favorite salad topping?
I'm going to come out guns a-blazing here, Greg, and I'm going to say red onion, blue cheese, and French dressing, and with some bacon bits, too. I forgot to add the bacon bits, but I love that whole concoction. It's dynamite. And here's a little shout out to Supper Club dressing too. Have you ever heard of peppercorn ranch?
Of course I have.
Oh, it's good.
Yeah.
And not every place has it though. It seems like mostly it's just supper clubs. But those are my toppings, and I love a salad with all of the above on them.
It's funny because a few years ago, I used to go to salad bars all the time, buffets, and they would always have the salad bar, even if it was like a Chinese buffet, Italian buffet, Jimmy John's buffet. That's an Italian joke right there. They always have a salad bar, whether it's a small salad bar, but they would always have French dressing. And I swear to God, I was like, did we all just forget about French dressing? Because no one ever brings, like, when you talk about dressings, it's ranch, Thousand Island, it's
oil and vinegar, Italian.
But no one ever says, would you like French?
Not to be confused with Western. They both kind of look alike. So if you're at a salad bar and they just have like both of them, and they're not labeled, you could get yourself in a world of trouble there.
I feel like Western's a little more orangish, whereas French has a little more dark hue to the liquid, if you will. So just something those are the weird things that pop up into my head for no reason whatsoever. I'm just like, what happened to French dressing? But
Maybe
that's for
maybe our guest could clarify that for us, Greg.
Oh, I would
That's,
love to see
Adam
a James
Reiner.
Beard award-winning writer be asked the question, what do you think about French? Do you think it gets the shaft, huh?
What's your favorite kind of ranch on your croutons?
Do you like garlic ranch or ranch ranch? Do you like spicy ranch?
You
Don,
dunk
what
your
about
pizza
you?
in the ranch?
Do you like to dunk your ranch in your pizza?
I gotta steal Pete's Western dressing. I do like Western dressing. I really do. And Pete, you said bacon bites. I love.
Well, I like the bacon bites with blue cheese, red onion, and French. Actually, I would work with ranch
for me,
or
it's
with
just
Western.
I just like the bacon bites. I really do. I also liked hard-boiled eggs as well, sliced.
Mm.
Those are really, really good. Oh,
Those are very tasty
eggs.
too.
Okay.
I went to last
you,
year. I
Greg?
went to Butternut for some shows on the old program, and we went to it wasn't a supper club. It had supper club vibe, but it was a restaurant with a bar in there. But they had an old school, like small, salad bar. It was maybe like
Beautiful.
6 feet long. It was not big in choices, but it had all of the greatest hits. You had your iceberg lettuce, you had your shredded carrots, your shredded cheese, your cottage cheese, your sliced eggs, your red onions, and there were other things too, like of course sunflower seeds, croutons, and all sorts of things like that. And then of course, just half of the whole cart was dressings.
Oh,
And
man.
I was sitting there going, "What do I do? What do I go?" And I just went with Thousand Island. Could not stop myself. Love
Thousand
that.
Island's good stuff. I mean, and sometimes those salad bars, you go there like at a supper club, and if it's later in the evening, it looks like a crime scene. Like nobody's putting the right things back in the right,
Yep. Yeah,
But,
I just because it's called a sneeze guard doesn't mean you have to sneeze on the sneeze guard, folks. Take a hanky with you. I'm just saying that
They
may be
fell out
tied
of
to
favor during COVID, Greg. Remember, they shut down all the salad bars, and now we've only got one here in Marinette. So,
just
and it's
as
a good
opposed to how many before.
Well, we have a Jack's franchise, and they're outstanding. There's 3 of them in the Twin City area, Menominee, Michigan, across the river.
Mhm.
But only one of them reopened the salad bar, and it's a very good salad bar. But
I miss Wendy's salad bar. Wendy's used to have an amazing salad
Did
bar.
they?
But that's they had a full blown salad bar. It was fantastic, and it was like an extra $2, or you got one trip. One trip, okay.
Who's policing that?
I don't know. I think they work for the Watertown School Board now. Oh,
hi-oh.
That reminds me, if you missed the first hour, go to civicmedia.us/shows. Look for
Yes.
Nite Lite and download episodes. Catch up. They're all right there, cataloged, choreographed, and curated for you. In other words, to begin with the letter C. Dom, what do we have on the text line regarding tonight's question?
We got quite a few.
Oh,
We
boy.
We got Monica from Mount Horeb coming in hot, saying sliced black olives in place of dressing.
Whoa.
Adds a little moisture and a lot of flavor.
I mean, I get down on black olives. I love it on pizza and salad. I wouldn't do it in place of dressing, but hey, I don't hate that, Monica.
They can be overwhelming, though, the black olives. If you like them, they're great, but
I love black olives.
they can kind of take over.
They're so good.
What else we got?
We got Brett from Brown Deer saying, my favorite salad topping is psychedelic mushrooms. They
You really
taste
got to
terrible.
proofread these.
But for the next 6 hours after dinner, it's a lot of fun.
Especially Thanksgiving.
He has very enjoyable evenings.
Yeah, absolutely.
We got Jack from Merrimack saying, my first real girlfriend taught me how wonderful salads can be. My mom's idea of salad was iceberg lettuce, a few chopped carrots, sour vinegar, and oil dressing.
Okay.
I've learned to have at least a half dozen different ingredients like butter lettuce. I've never even heard of that.
What is butter lettuce?
I don't know.
I think it's like an iceberg type.
It sounds good, though. Salted sesame seeds and a sweet tomato and red onion dressing. Favorite ingredient,
wow.
Parmesan and garlic croutons are great, but there's nothing better than dried cranberries.
Oh, see, that's where you lost me at cranberries. I don't really like mixing sweet into my salads. No, thank you.
Really? You don't like the occasional strawberry or blueberry in there with some
thank you.
goat cheese or something?
I just, no, thank you.
All right.
That butter lettuce sounds good, though.
I will always go for spinach. If the salad bar has spinach, I always go for the spinach or like a leafier, greener green than iceberg. But yeah, yep.
You got to put some green in there, even if it's just that's where all the nutrients are.
Just like
right?
green peppers. If it does. Any other text messages there, Dom?
Yeah, we got a few more. We got John in Madison saying, I always add cherry tomatoes, red cabbage, whole black olives, feta cheese, and carrot slices.
Ooh.
My new favorite add-on is sliced hard-boiled egg.
There
and
you go.
he still loves Western dressing as he did.
I think you got a salad buddy right there, Dom.
Yeah. Oh man, thanks, John.
Let's get together and go for some salads, fellas.
Come on.
We went to high
Salads
school.
over here.
Every Wednesday we go for salads.
Tacos on Tuesday, salads on Wednesday.
And we also have John saying, "Great first guest tonight."
Thank you
Thank you,
very
John.
much, John.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you, John.
Yeah, we love the
they were
museum. They're great.
Yeah.
They're absolutely great. Do we have any other text messages, or we move on to the Face book?
We also have Nick from Marshall saying, "Got to have bacon bits. The hard, crunchy ones are okay, but the soft ones are the best, especially if you make your own."
Yeah.
Make your own bacon bit. Yeah, I guess you just make bacon, right? And cut it up.
You just make bacon and cut it up. I mean, I think the stuff you buy in the store is actually, wait for it, vegan. It's not real bacon. It's like a soy product or something, but it still smells and tastes like.
Yeah, you can make your own croutons too if you really wanted to. I suppose. Just let the
Can
loaf
I
of
get
bread go bad.
Can I get an extra setting of croutons, please? Thank you very much. I love hard bread. It's just delicious and just tasty. Sorry, I don't know.
We've
that was
got,
the I have no idea.
I liked it. It was working for you. It's
Thank
the
you.
perfect voice for croutons.
I love croutons.
Boris on Facebook puts one on there I totally forgot about, and I love this on salad too. Garbanzo beans. That's a good one.
Okay. They taste like anything though?
For me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I like hummus too, so I think that the
love
right dressing, like a nice creamy Italian on there with some garbanzo beans, great stuff, man. You're in flavor country.
I
Amanda
love hummus.
Nimmer, our pal, says sunflower seeds, and then she says, I must add to mine sunflower seeds, eggs, cheese, mushroom, and tomato with ranch. Ranch is in all caps. It's if we weren't going to read that or something. Thank you.
Ranch!
Amanda. Yeah. Sean says hard-boiled egg and bacon bits. Another vote for hard-boiled egg and bacon bits. Okay. Brian says black olives, and even was nice enough to include like a nice taco salad picture there in case we didn't know what black olives look like. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Brian. That's a nice, that's a lovely concoction. Yeah, go ahead, Greg.
I was saying, what I really enjoy about this is that all of these answers, whether it's ours, text line, whomever, really missing the point, all of us, on what a salad can do and should do, I should say. We're just like, give me a bed of iceberg lettuce and give me everything my doctor doesn't want me to eat. But on top of lettuce, it's a salad.
I think that's called a wedge salad, right? That's a dynamite tasting salad. Probably not healthy for you.
To me, a wedge salad is nothing more than flatbread pizza in as much as you change the name and you charge more. It's a slice of iceberg lettuce with the exact same junk on it, and they're like, that's $17.95.
Yeah, it is ridiculous. But with the blue cheese and the crunch and the bacon, and it's good stuff. I'm in flavor country right now. Teresa says black olives and sunflower seeds. All right. Our pal Mike Desatel says shredded cheese, bacon, and Thousand Island dressing. Thousand Island is so old school. I love it.
It's also very
Scott,
hard to maneuver. It doesn't drip. It doesn't flow.
True.
You have to smack it down on the salad.
Mix it up. Yeah. Or you could buy a Big Mac and scrape it up. One more here. Scott Tom says, well, today it has to be croutons from the Olive Garden. Okay. And Daniel Francis Thine says salt. We'll read a few more of these as the show goes. Salt your salad. Okay.
Don't go anywhere. When we come back, we'll be talking to Adam Reiner. He's a James Beard Award-winning food journalist to talk about his brand new book, The New Rules of Dining Out, plus the nightcap. So don't go anywhere. We're right here on Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba and Greg Bach on the Civic Media Network. Stay tuned. Stay close.
I like that song. All right. We have
Hear me?
Adam. There you are.
Hey, Adam.
Hi, how you doing? I'm not hearing in my headphones. I'm hearing like out on my computer speaker.
Do you want to help them out with Dom with that? Or Dom, you want to help him with that?
Yes, at the bottom of your StreamYard, there should be a little gear. Click on that gear. Can you hear?
We can't hear you now.
Yep, you're muted now.
Oh, there's a little what?
There's a little gear at the bottom of the StreamYard. Click that gear.
I don't know what a gear is.
You mean like
settings? Settings.
Like the settings. Yeah, the settings.
Okay.
You got into it. All right. Now go to audio. Should be on the left there.
Oh, okay. Okay. Wait.
Got into it. Is there any sort of thing that says output setting or anything like that?
It says, I mean, if I'm on the right thing, it says remove from stage, edit name, headline, edit avatar, visual effects, stop mic cam.
No, there should be something below that.
Yeah, you should be clicking audio on the settings.
Yes.
I don't know. I'm sorry, guys. Like I don't see anything here.
No
Like,
worries.
Figure it out.
We can still hear you. Can you hear us okay, even with your headphones on?
Not great. I just don't understand why I'm not hearing it through my headphones. Like I hear it through the computer, but at very low volume. Wait, hold on a second. Okay, I hear you better now.
Okay.
I think I turned it up.
Okay.
There we go.
Oh,
yeah, I think that'll probably work. Are you hear me like I'm coming through the microphone, or do you hear me like I'm coming through a computer?
We can hear you good now. But there's a little bit of echo. Oh, there you go. How's that?
Oh, wait, I think I might have figured something out here. Hold on a second. Got it.
Perfect. Yep, we can hear you. There's no echo. That's amazing.
Okay.
Awesome.
I got it now. Sorry, guys.
Perfect. No worries.
Oh, no worries. Pete, you want to bring him in?
Yep.
Sure.
Cool. We got 15 seconds.
What if that was just an instrumental, Dom? We would have been sitting here for the next 20 minutes. Well timed again. Hey, welcome back to Nite Lite, ladies and gentlemen. I am Pete Schwaba coming to you live from Northeast Wisconsin. Joined as always by Greg Bach coming to you live from Southeast Wisconsin, just down the lake. And Dom holding down the fort in Madison. Our question tonight is, it is National Crouton Day or Crouton Day. What is your favorite salad topping? We've had some great texts. Keep them coming. We'll read them throughout the show. Right now, it is my pleasure to welcome our next guest to the show. Adam Reiner is a James Beard award-winning food journalist and the author of The New Rules of Dining Out. He joins us now over the stream to talk restaurants and the rules of dining, which I didn't even know a lot of these existed. Adam, it is great to have you here. How are you tonight?
I'm doing great. Thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate your having me. Happy Crouton, National Crouton Day. There's so many of these days now, like, you know, Dirty Martini Day, Cotton Candy Day. Like, it's a little exhausting if you ask me.
Adam, there's like 4 of them on the same day too. Like they just ran out of days. Like, just put it on National Crouton Day. No one cares.
Right. I mean, I would only imagine that there are people that probably do, like, they celebrate all the things on that one day, but it's not me. I am not one of those people.
Excellent.
Your book is so interesting, and it got me looking at visiting restaurants totally differently. Like, I never thought, I kind of was that clueless guy who went in and you just ordered something and you ate and you left. But there is an etiquette to this, as you point out in your book. But first, I want to ask you something you touched upon in your book. Why are restaurants more important now than ever?
Well, I think that a lot of the food television thing has evolved in a way that it kind of opened a window into that world. You can go all the way back, I think, probably to like Julia Child and Jacques Pepin to see, you know, where that starts to take hold. But I think around like the late 90s into the early 2000s, it kind of supercharges a little bit with the Food Network, where you have these kind of like stand and stir shows. And then after that, you have all of these like food reality television competition shows, and the stakes kind of keep getting higher and higher and higher. Meanwhile, you have the internet, which kind of democratizes food, and social media then, which kind of makes everybody, you know, gives everybody an opportunity to kind of periscope into these dining experiences, you know. And so now I feel like it's something that has become the main event, more so than probably 20, 30 years ago, where people would, you know, do dinner in a show. Now dinner is the show, which, you know, I think when I think about working in a restaurant, and I think this hopefully is to your point, when you're taking care of people in a restaurant, now you're not taking care of just people who like humbly walk in. You're taking care of people who really think that they have certain degree of expertise about this, even though they may very well not. So that, that makes life a lot more difficult for people that wait tables, because, people will have this thing like, oh, well, what makes the black spaghetti black? Is it squid ink? And you have to sort of play along with that in a way where you kind of make people feel good, but it takes a lot out of you. It's a big, it can be exhausting at times.
And that's something you talk about in the book too, is that you have a history. You're a writer, but you are a waiter. And I imagine that you have a lot of stories from the very cool to the very sitting in the behind the restaurant going, why do I still work here? These people are insane. I mean, how does your history as a server inform the writing you do now, and as far as the book and when you talk to people about this topic? First of all, I consider myself a restaurant guy more than I consider myself a writer, no matter how much success I have. The mentality that I bring to my writing, especially given the experiences that I've had working in restaurants, I think is what I hope distinguishes my writing from other things that you might read. My first job in restaurants was in a theme restaurant in Times Square. So even though later in my career, I worked in fine dining restaurants that were a little bit more upscale, I still also had experiences working serving tourists in Times Square. It does sort of shape, my worldview. But I think what I learned in all of that experience is that people don't think of dining out really as a skill, not in the way that they do cooking. But I think that dining out is something that you can get better at. And it's really about engagement, not so much about etiquette, even though I think I do use the word etiquette in the book. I think that my book is really about understanding better the rules of engagement, not so much being a more polite guest, because I don't think that waiters really want you to be polite. They just want you to be compliant, and they want you to be a decent person. So you don't have to be thank you so much, around every turn. You really have to just don't be the type of person that's can I get the broccoli rabe instead of the mushrooms? Why can't I get that? I don't understand why, blah, blah, blah. They did it for me last time. There's a lot of that kind of stuff where it's I always use the example too. If you should always approach your dining experiences like you're walking into someone's home. When would you ever walk into someone's home and they say, would you take your shoes off? And you're like, no, I'm good. I'll leave them on. You would never do that in someone's home. So if in the restaurant they're presenting you with certain framework or rules, you should respect that and understand that there was a well thought out reason why those rules are the way they are. And that applies to things like seating incomplete parties and why they can't take the appetizer orders separate from the entree order. And I think some people are willing to accept those terms, and some people resist it. And it turns out, I think for them, that they have worse service experiences when they don't. Oh,
it is.
Do you have 5 hours? Oh my God!
I'm here for the long haul, guys. I got my coffee. I'm ready to rock.
Adam Reiner is here. He is a James Beard award-winning food journalist and author of The New Rules of Dining Out. And we're going to get more into this with Adam when we come back. I have a couple doozies I want to ask our guest, and maybe we'll make him slum it, Greg, and get his opinion on croutons. So we'll figure all that out. We are coming right back after the news with more food and restaurant talk with Adam Reiner. This is Pete Schwaba and Greg Bach and Nite Lite on the Civic Media Network.
We are on break, guys.
So many questions.
Getting so hungry.
I know.
I'm supposed to be fasting till tomorrow morning, and I don't know if that's going to happen.
You guys have some croutons back there? You got some
We have whole grain croutons, but that's really not cutting it.
What was the wait, so what is the question? The crouton question?
Every night we do a question of the night, and tonight's is what is in honor of National Crouton Day, what is your favorite salad topping?
Okay. All right.
It's a very, and we'll say this, Adam, the responses, including mine, very Wisconsin salad bar buffet answers.
Yes.
Okay. So it's got to be like bacon and cheese curds, or
It
can
be.
Oh, that sounds amazing. It can be whatever you'd like, Adam. We are open-minded. This is a safe space for your salad toppings.
yeah. All right. I'll brainstorm. I'm not a big salad guy.
Yeah.
I'm not a big salad guy.
Neither is most of America, so you're in good company, I guess.
But I don't mind a good crouton.
Yeah. I like a well-prepared crouton. Like, if it's like, okay, this is from a bag, whatever. But if like these are homemade, I'm like, this is nice. I like it.
Yeah.
I like the crispy French onions, the onion strips that are crispy on a salad. Oh,
Like the green bean casserole thing.
oh no. Well, that's okay too.
Isn't that what those are? Those.
Yeah, that's what
Oh,
those
maybe.
are.
Yeah. You put them on top of the green bean casserole.
Or you mean
yeah,
like a more gourmet version of that?
Sure. If there can be one.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to go run to the restroom real quick. I'll be right back.
Same.
Get this rocking and rolling.
We got 3
Adam,
minutes, guys.
real quick, if there's anything you definitely want us to ask you or something, let us know and we can steer you there.
No, I mean, I'm pretty open to riffing.
Okay.
I think where we're at is good for me.
Rock and roll.
I mean,
Love
I
it.
guess we kind of probably need to talk about tipping at some point. That gets everybody heated.
Well,
up.
that's
I'll
great
get to it.
because someone texted about that.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. I just
So
want to
we will-
warn you though. I just want to warn you, like, I'm not the guy that's like going to solve the tipping crisis on this show. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's okay.
That's what I'm going to say. I'm going to be like, everybody pipe down here and realize that we're not going to change the world in this one conversation.
Oh,
Fair
well,
enough. Our
I thought
audience
that's
likes
what was
to be
going to happen.
scolded, so-
But it gets clicks. It gets clicks though. Come on.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
honest.
All right. We'll talk to you in a moment.
Awesome. All right, I'll be right back.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
Nobody looked any finer. Always more of a hit at the Parkway Diner. You never knew we could want more than that out of life. Sean and Bender and Eddie would always know how to survive.
Welcome back. This is Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba and Greg Bach. So great to have you with us on this Wednesday night as we talk about all the things in life that make us happy. And right now it's food and restauranting. I just made up a verb there. Our guest at the moment is Adam Reiner. He is a James Beard award-winning food journalist and author of The New Rules of Dining Out. That's right, folks. There is an etiquette to this, and Adam is here to steer us in the right direction. I have to ask you, my wife sometimes will say, like, we'll be at a pretty decent restaurant and she'll say, why don't we just split something? And if I were a waiter, that would drive me bananas. Is that okay to do?
Sure. Why not? I think it depends. Like if it depends how you're doing it, how you're asking about it. I think most people that work in restaurants, they just want to make you happy. They just want you to leave happy.
Okay.
So I think that there's a little bit of a misconception about like restaurant staff, these like urban myths about, how the chef is going to like taint your food if you send it back. Like in most busy restaurants, these people don't have time to like play out these grudges against you. Yeah. They just want you to enjoy yourself.
That's a relief.
And so like, I think when it comes to sharing, like if you're okay with the food just coming with like some share plates, that's fine. When I think it becomes like overstepping is when you're like, can you plate it on 2 plates for me, but could you put like only the sauce on one of the plates, where it's like you're being lazy or you expect special treatment. Mm-hmm. And so I don't think that anything basic like that really bothers a server, assuming that they're not having a terrible night, as long as you ask for it in a way that's respectful.
I don't mind having all my nachos Bel Grande on one plate. That's fine.
I think that in my book, like the kind of basis of a lot of what I'm talking about is really just about communication. And that's something where I feel like it breaks down a little bit for some people in restaurants where they just don't know how to find the right language to say what they're looking for. And I think that once you work a day in a restaurant in your life, it kind of changes your whole worldview about what it takes to make that hospitality magic happen. And so for people that have never had that experience before, it's sort of understandable why they wouldn't know how to send food back. Like, sending food back is a really hard thing because a lot of people, they always say the same thing. They're like, I never do this before. I've never done this before. Or I'm not that type of person. It's like, well, clearly you are that type of person, but even so, like, you don't really have to preface it with apologies if you're unhappy with the experience. And that's why I think in the book, there's an entire chapter that's titled Managing Disappointing Experiences. We need to understand as restaurant guests that we can have bad experiences in great restaurants and we can have great experiences in bad restaurants. Like ultimately we are the constant variable in those situations. And we ultimately decide if we leave unhappy or not. Like, even if like everything goes wrong and the plates are flying and your food hits the floor, the servers are rude or whatever, you can still enjoy your company and have a good time. I've seen this happen, like where things melt down and people just realize that, it happens. 1 out of every 50 situations in a great restaurant might go bad. If you got that night, it stinks when it happens, but it isn't the end of the world. You can make the best out of it. So I think that going into it with the right attitude, I think is really important too.
And that, leads me to a question here about modern day in 2026. We are 5 years out from the world being out in the world, not including the lockdown, but there's a whole new attitude. We have social media, people online filming their experiences, whether they're good, bad. They want clicks. They're hoping it's bad so they can, make $1 million. But what are the conversations you are hearing, Adam, with restaurant owners, servers, and even customers in a post-COVID world when it comes to the experience, attitude, and this notion folks have that I'm here, so I deserve the best, and if I don't get it, well, I will ruin you because I have the internet.
That always reminds me of the South Park episode when Cartman's an elite Yelper. Have you ever seen that?
Yes.
I'm actually reporting a big story right now that's about the restaurant economy. And I can tell you just from a lot of these conversations with people, restaurant owners, operators, chefs from all over the country, things are really, really bad right now. Like, I don't understand why there's this kind of disconnect between when people go to the grocery store and they see how expensive a bag of groceries is today, and yet they go to a restaurant and when it's pricey, they sometimes can't sort of like separate those two. Like they get more upset when the restaurant is expensive than they do when basic necessities like gas and groceries are expensive. But I think that with the technology part, I just want to add that becomes an obstacle to connection in a restaurant. And so like when you're a server and you walk over to a table and greet them and say, hello, welcome to the restaurant. Thanks for coming, blah, blah, blah. And the person says, could I get your Wi-Fi password? Like that immediately kills the vibe. And it immediately sends the message to the server, like dinner is a secondary like priority for you, which is a really negative thing. And I understand sometimes people want to post videos and all that stuff, but restaurants are like the ultimate analog experience. You know, like a restaurant is never going to get better by having multimedia technology going on. You know, it's the type of place where you need to set all of that stuff aside and switch it off. And when you're not doing that, then you're making life a lot harder for the people serving you. But I think that with the restaurant economy struggling right now, I feel like this is the most important time for people to really double down and be better guests than they have been in the past. These restaurants really need that support. They need you to buy a gift card, you know, during the holidays that maybe it'll help to, you know, keep them busy in January and February, you know, to sit down at the bar on a Monday night at 5 o'clock when they open and order a glass of wine and a pasta. Like it's those dead times early and late that are the ones that are the hardest to fill. And without a doubt, post-COVID, things have changed. Dining habits have changed. Everybody's door dashing all the time. People don't stay out as late. You've heard all the narratives, I'm sure. People aren't drinking as much alcohol because they're, you know, doing cannabis, you know, things or whatever it is. It's not helping the restaurants in terms of their sales. And then on top of that, behind the scenes, they have issues like immigration and tariffs and food costs rising and labor costs rising. So it's really kind of a perfect storm right now for restaurants. That is not, it's not a healthy situation.
Boy, that's a great point. Our guest is Adam Reiner. He is a James Beard award-winning food journalist and the author of The New Rules of Dining Out. It is a great read, folks. One of our listeners, our regular listeners, also waited tables, John Murray from Madison. He wants to know if 20% is an acceptable tip in the mind of today's waiter. And he also calls you his favorite guest of all time on this show, Adam. So there you go.
I'm honored. I'm honored. Thank you. I think 20% is great. And, you know, I think that 18% to me is still kind of the baseline. You know, the one thing I will say about tipping is that, you know, it's really important for people to divorce the idea that tipping should be either a reward or a punishment. You should never, what we in the industry call stiff your waiter. Do not ever stiff your waiter, meaning leaving zero tip. If you had the worst experience of your life, you still should never leave zero tip. There's a whole team of people that are involved that may not have dropped the ball the way that the server that you want to punish did. So leave a proper tip, let's say 15%. Then the following day, I recommend, if you still feel like aggrieved, call the restaurant, talk to the manager, send them an email, lay out the case for why you were disappointed and give them a chance to make it right. But it doesn't do any good to just like give somebody a bad tip, ruin their day, you know, hurt their income. You never know what's going on in a restaurant behind the scenes. Somebody might have gotten into an accident on the way to work, and so they were short-staffed. They could have missed a delivery. One of a piece of equipment in the kitchen might have broken down. Like, again, this could happen one day in the 50 days that you could possibly have gone there. You just happened to go that night, and it's unfortunate, but it doesn't mean that they can't invite you back and do some nice things for you and reclaim the situation. But if you don't express it in a healthy way, you're never going to get that.
I just had this conversation at a restaurant this past weekend with some friends, and one of the people said, you know, I leave a very low tip, or I don't leave a tip as a way to tell them what I think. And I said, yeah, that doesn't really work though, because you don't know the situation, what you just said, Adam. And also a lot of these folks are making like $2.30 an hour. So when you don't give them a tip, you're also taking away from their general livelihood. And this is how they pay their bills. There are other ways to approach it, but this is not the way to do it. You are not the grand teacher by saying, well, I'm going to give you $10 instead of $15. You've done nothing. You've just made them more upset and made you look bad. So
100%. And just to clarify too, because I think sometimes people really just don't understand what's behind the tipping. As you said, the base minimum wage on the federal level is $2.13 an hour. But just to be clear, they call that the tip credit. It doesn't mean that the restaurant owner has the right to underpay their staff. It means that your tips make up the difference between that $2.13 and the minimum wage. So if the server doesn't make it all the way to that minimum wage, then the owner should have to pay the difference. So you're basically subsidizing their salary. And when you don't hold up your end of the bargain, in my opinion, you're taking advantage of a system that artificially lowers prices predicated on the fact that they can have a team of people that's making less than minimum wage. Now, not all states are $2.13 an hour. Many of them have gone up, and some of the states are trying to raise it to a point where it's almost to the minimum wage of those states. So in some cases, like on the West Coast, you have a lot of places where the tip minimum is $15 or $17. So it's not low. But ultimately, like when you're dining out, you're participating in an economy with tipping that, again, all of the menu prices are predicated on the fact that the owner is allowed legally to pay a base level wage to front of house employees that is less than minimum.
Adam, we have about a minute and a half or so left. There's something I noticed about this book, and I don't know if this was intentional or not, but it seems to be just this nice message about community and treating others as you want to be treated, almost, to make a successful restaurant visit or have a great food experience. Was that at all intentional?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, restaurants are community. You know, the end of the book, the postscript kind of is a little bit of I think a word of warning and a cautionary tale for people to understand. Like, if you want your communities filled with these like vibrant places that are gathering spots for your families and your special occasions, you need to respect that. You know, when I was a kid anyway, and there was like little league teams and things like that, the local restaurants were always the places that were sponsoring the little league teams. I'm sure it's still that way now. They're not sponsored by Chipotle. So like, if you want to have like a community filled with Noodles and Co. and whatever, then you know, keep spending your money there. But if you want to have those places that are like really have character, that, you know, serve the, you know, types of like regional cuisine that you might find in Wisconsin, you know, some good bratwurst and cheese curds, you better go out there and spend your money at those places, because they're not going to exist anymore. The game is rigged against them right now. So ultimately, we as consumers, we decide what our dining landscape looks like. And it's always a reflection of us and our purchasing habits.
Wow.
Adam Reiner, yeah, great stuff. This
Amazing.
has been really
That's so
fun
good.
and incredibly informative. So thank you so much.
You guys have a candidate for governor that was a former restaurant employee, right? Francesca Hong.
Yes, indeed.
If you want to clean up your government, put a restaurant worker in there.
All right,
that's the
from
final
your
message.
mouth.
That's my final answer.
There you go.
That's awesome. Check out The New Rules of Dining Out, folks. A great read and very insightful. Thank you so much for your time tonight, Adam Reiner. Let's do this again sometime.
It was my pleasure. Thanks, guys.
All right, this is Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba and Greg Bach. We are coming back for the Nightcap on the Civic Media Network.
Brenda Renee. Can't tell you more 'cause I told you already. And here we are waving Brenda and Eddie goodbye.
Adam, thank you so much. That was
it was my pleasure. That was fun.
Not enough time. Love to have you back to, you know, expand on this conversation, get deeper into the book, but you know, talk about it was fantastic. Thank you so much for being here.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, some of the like tips in the book, I think would be fun to talk about if we do that.
Absolutely.
I wanted to ask you how you felt about the bear too, but we could do that next time maybe when you're here. So
I mean, it took me a while to get around to writing it. If you search, I wrote a story about the bear for the website is called Taste, and it's talking about the dysfunctional family element of it and how that resonated for me as a restaurant worker. It's I think it encapsulates a lot of my feelings about the show. I would recommend
I will check it out. Wow. All right,
guys.
Awesome stuff.
Take care.
Thanks a lot.
Enjoy your night.
Take it easy. Have a great night.
You too. Bye.
That was fun.
Yeah, absolutely. That is a after dark next time.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Dude, I had 20 more. I don't know what I was thinking.
I know. I had three more questions, and I'm like, no, okay, we don't have time. Okay. Yeah. That's fine. I mean, come back. It's great. It was a great talk. And it almost want to be like, hey, Team Francesca Hong, he just got a shout out.
Yeah. All right.
All right. What do we have on tomorrow is the movie club, but then we're also just so warm because every door is closed. My gosh.
Hey, I just want to double check you guys. I think once my computer notification went off, but was it only once?
What now?
During the interview, did you hear my notification on my computer go off at all?
Not at all.
My second laptop?
No.
Oh, thank God. Okay.
No, not at all. No, I heard something on his end go off, but I mean,
Okay.
you know.
I think a dog shook or something.
I'll just blame Adam.
What are we? Oh, here we go. Ah, ha, 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 ha. Oh. Radio. I do like level, like out of a 10, I do like, my impressions are like a 5 to 6 if I really try hard, but I can't go, like, it's that thing where like you can do a good impression for about 30 seconds. And if you go further, you're like, this sounds terrible.
That's true.
Did I ever tell you this story, Pete? I think I may have, where I did a Peter Griffin impression at a comedy club in a green room, and my friend who was headlining goes, "You should do that on stage when your jokes don't work." I'm like, that's not nice to say out loud.
Like, I like you should have a fallback, really.
How about if, not when? Like, I feel like you're, and you chose me to be here, buddy. So, all right,
Griffin, that's a great one to do. Can you do Quagmire? Well, hello.
Giggity giggoo. All right.
Giggity giggity.
That's my ringtone.
If you can do
Giggity
one
is
of those
your
four voices, you can do them because they're all Seth MacFarlane.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
All right, guys, 15 seconds.
All righty.
All right. I'll get into it. Dom, I'll throw it right to you for the last of the text message. And cover some of John's that didn't get said, please.
Okay.
Thanks.
It's time to wind it down. Let's take a moment to look back and ask, what did we learn today? This is Nightcap with Greg and Pete.
Welcome back to Nite Lite with Pete Schwaba and Greg Bach here on the Civic Media Network. Always get in touch with us if you can. 855-752-4842. 855-75-CIVIC. Leave a comment on that live stream. We're currently streaming on Facebook, YouTube, and the platform we still call Twitter. Tonight's question is, what is your favorite salad topping in honor of National Crouton Day? And I would say in honor of our conversation with Adam Reiner, too. He was fantastic. If you missed any of the show, folks, go to civicmedia.us/shows, look for Nite Lite, download episodes, take them wherever you'd like, and catch on up. And as always, you can listen to us. You can get in touch with us via the Civic Media app. If you don't have it, download it today. It's absolutely free. So tomorrow's show, it's going to be a banger, my friends. We're going to be talking to Steve Glynn from Experience Milwaukee. He'll be discussing the misunderstood points of data centers and the tech sector in Wisconsin. And then in the second hour, oh mother glory, it's time to get into the Nite Lite Movie Club, where we will be talking about the classic, I would say the godfather of spoof comedy, Airplane. It's gonna be great.
It's kind of beyond a classic. Like, a classic is, I don't know, like
to me,
Wayne's
it's
World or something. But this is a all-time.
It's a textbook. The movie's a textbook, really, when it comes down to it. But we'll be talking more about that tomorrow in the second hour. So please come on back. We'll be here. Same time as always, 5 to 8. 5 to 7. Oh, my gosh. I almost made this 3-hour show. Oh. But that'll be tomorrow. So please come on by, stick around, have fun. And let's get into the nightcap right now. We're going to get to some more of these text messages and Facebook messages about our question of the night and about what's on people's minds. Dom, what is on the text line right now?
We got a few more. We got Nick texting in on WMDX, says homemade croutons are the best. Maple Tree Supper Club has really good croutons or croutons, and they seem like they're homemade because my mom made some in the past, and they kind of tasted similar.
Oh, nice.
All right.
There we go.
He does homemade. He's the guy that does the homemade bacon bits too. Yeah. Nick is loving this salad question. I love it.
We have.
He's
Karen,
like, finally a question just for me.
Yeah.
Karen texting in on WAUK says smoked salmon and peas with blue cheese crumbles.
Wait, say that one more time. There was smoked salmon
and peas with blue cheese crumbles.
I don't hate that. I'm not a big fan of peas, not for any other reason. Why I just feel like they're useless.
Oh,
but
good for you, dude. And the good fiber. Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Peas.
cool. Excellent. My mom used to put them in tuna salad when I was a kid. There was always tuna salad. Yeah, absolutely.
Sneaking them in there.
And I just want to say thank you to John and Madison listening on WMDX for all the great texts regarding our conversation with Adam. I think that was a great talk. I really, really enjoyed that discussion with him. So did he have anything else to say? Did we miss anything else?
He said, I always overtip no matter what happens. I like to make up for that bad customer that burned my waiter. Okay.
Yeah.
I kind of do too, unless they're completely jerky. You know what I mean? Like, I'm with John on that.
I almost always like, if 20% is like the average, I always give like 25, 30, especially breakfast servers. I always go overboard on breakfast server because that's a crazy time of day. People
And not only that, Greg, but like especially if your bill is $20 or $16 or whatever, 25. The difference between 20% and 25% sometimes is like 75 cents, or whatever. It's just worth it. Take care of people.
Absolutely. What do we got on the Face book?
We got 3 more here. Mary Picorni Donlin, my producer at PBS for Director's Cut and the POV and Independent Lens Opens. Love Mary. She says French dressing and then made a puke emoji.
Oh, wow.
So she's laying it out there. She's not in flavor country.
She loves it so much she gets sick. Got it.
She can't handle it.
Understood.
Matt Harper in Green Bay, rock rap artist, says hot bacon dressing from Rivers Bend Supper Club. Okay, thank you, Matt. Hope you're well, buddy. We've got a couple more here. Jenny Brand, our Civic Media colleague, says eggs, ! Especially if you swap it for the chicken in a Caesar salad. Okay. And then thank you, Jenny. And then Chris Anderson, my old pal, says gorgonzola. Yeah, I forgot about gorgonzola.
When the cheese is right, it's great. When the cheese is right. On my Facebook page, we got a few more. My friend Katie says feta, pickled onions, and all olives. All right. Well, that sounds more or less like a salad than just, those 3 things.
Salt.
Bill says shredded cheese. Melissa K., our buddy up north and who works for Civic Media, she says cottage cheese. I always put cottage cheese on the side. I don't put it on the salad. I want that separate. That's how I say it. Excuse me. Nikki says Caesar style. So croutons, Parmesan cheese, Italian dressing. By the way, it's pronounced croutons, but I like saying croutons. If I don't count dressing and have to choose one from the other, I'll go Parmesan. My friend Ryan says, I guess it's croutons. Is that what you want to hear? Croutons? There, I said it.
Whatever, man.
No, Ryan's hilarious. Trust me, he was giggling while he wrote that.
Oh, okay.
Joe says, bacon! With 3 exclamation points.
Nice. Oh, yeah.
Victoria says, bacon, cheese, hard-boiled eggs. That's basically a sandwich at that point. And then Jim says, cukes for cucumbers. So,
oh, yeah, cucumbers.
Thank you so much, everybody. Pete, what'd you learn tonight?
I learned a lot of stuff. That I learned that going out to eat is a process. And there's a point in his book where he says it's like this immersive theatrical experience where you're the main character. I mean, he has broken this down, and it was really fun to talk about that stuff.
I'm going to repeat the name of the book because John out there, John Murray and Madison, in case you want to pick this up, that is now I just lost it. What is it called, Pete?
I had it too, and now I threw my questions out. Stand by.
It's
The New Rules of Dining Out.
There you go. I think you really enjoyed that book. I hope you get it. I hope you read it. Let us know if you get it. And we'll work on getting him back on the show. That would be a great after dark discussion.
Absolutely.
Dom, what did you learn, Mr. Jimmy Caesar?
Real quick, just learned that there's a thing as butter lettuce. I thought that was really cool.
I got to look that up. Butter lettuce.
What did you learn, Greg?
Well, thanks so much for asking, Pete, not Dom. My goodness. I just learned that no matter where you're going to eat, it doesn't have to be a 3-star Michelin restaurant. It can be, a local diner, it can be a chain restaurant, but you have to have a certain etiquette, attitude, and you need to release your own mind from expectations of what you think you deserve in that experience. Have a good time, tip, and don't be a jerk.
Interesting. Love it.
There you go. All right, folks, we got to get on out of here, but don't you worry. There's more programming after this program right here. Thank you so much to Dom, Tucker, Engineering Traffic for all the work they do, making sure the microphone's turned on. Everybody who called, texted, got on the live stream. Without you, there is absolutely no us, so we appreciate you being a part of this adventure with us. It's time to get on out of here, but we're going to have a fun time tomorrow. Say goodnight to the people. Pete.
Good night, Wisconsin.
We're up all night to get lucky.